This is the ODA502 Armory. Most of the guys on the team leave their guns with me, mostly because I'm the one who works on them. As we'll go through each of these, you'll see most of these are not stock but have been upgraded many times over. Most of these started out as Maruis back in the early 2000s. I think the oldest ones are from 2001. This all on the ground. Going from top to bottom, we've got KWA Mac 11 stock, a Marui PDW MP5K. It's fairly stock. I think it's got some metal bushings in it. It's originally a Marui AK. It's got all wood furniture, a steel receiver. It's upgraded to shoot about 400 FPS, but a standard rate of fire. This is one of the few stock guns we have. This is a I think it started out life as a G&G combat machine. We put a shorter barrel on it just to make it an easier loaner gun to lug around. We've got one of our first of many Mark 18s, Mod 1. This one started as a Marui M4. This is one of the ones that we've had from 2001. Put a metal receiver on it sometime along the way. Now it's got obviously some Magpul stuff. The Mad Bull Mark 18 rail, short rail, free floating Daniel defense rail. Very nice. It's upgraded to shoot about 35 a second, I believe, at about 380 FPS. This one's my baby. It's a M4 Block 2. It's got a real EOTech on the top. A lot of Magpul stuff. It started out life as an M4, Marui M4. Does about 35 a second, 380 FPS. This one's the fastest one we have. It also started out as a Marui M16, I believe. It's gone through a lot of different incarnations since then. Because we have the full stock on it, we can really use a fat battery in there. And this one's the fastest one we have. It shoots about 40 rounds a second at about 380. Another Mark 18 Mod 1, also a high-speed gun, about 35 a second or so. This one actually started out as a Classic Army, one of the few Classic Army guns we have. Went up to the top. This one was originally Marui AK. We chopped the front off of it. Still needs a little bit of work. It's not shooting too well right now. It's had a lot of external kits added to it, the rail, the folding stock. This one is another stock gun that we have. It's a KWA. Moving down here, this one is just a loaner gun. It's a parts gun. Started out as a Marui. I think it's even got the Marui plastic receiver on the bottom. We threw a Classic Army upper receiver on it at some point. Just anytime we have extra parts, we just kind of throw it on this one. Shoots pretty well though. It's about 375 FPS. Decent rate of fire. I think this is our third Mark 18 Mod 1. Really like the paint job on this one. The short barrel. It's got the 3-time flip up sight to go with the aim point. Very nice. This one's a stock Classic Army M4. Haven't touched this one. I don't think we've actually done anything at all to this one. Shoots well. I like it. This one I'm really proud of too. We started building a Mark 12 Mod 1, I think in like 2005 or 2006. It's gone through a couple different incarnations since then, but if you look at some of the pictures from Afghanistan from around 2005, this looks pretty close to what they were using. And paint job, really like. Need to put a little bit of a flat coating on it because it reflects a little bit. But this it's a DMR, semi-auto only. Shoots about 450 with 20s. Really accurate. Really like how this one shoots. This one's our high rate of fire gun. It's also a DMR, semi-auto only. It does 500 FPS. Shoots really hard and shoots really well. BB shoot just out on a line on this one. Moving down here, we've got our saw. We've put a lot of wear and tear on this one since I think we got this around 2010. We've been running a LiPo on it, a giant 11.1 in the middle in the box, pretty much since we've got it. It shoots about 450 FPS, does about 25 on a good battery. Haven't had a lot of trouble with it. Really haven't had to do anything internally. The wiring system probably needs to be replaced. It's 3 or 4 years old, and every once in a while it'll stop working. We have to reset it. But other than that, it shoots good. We use the pinion mount to mount it to our Bronco. Shoots really well. I've sealed up the hop up with with some silicone sealant so to prevent air leaks, and I really like how that shoots. Over here we've got a Marui SIG 552. It is on its last legs. The receiver's just falling apart. I ended up just messing around with it, putting in a bunch of sorbo pads in it to make it as quiet as possible. And it does shoot pretty quiet. It only shoots about 200 FPS, and nobody really uses it. I think we have 2 or 3 mags for it. Maybe eventually I'll get it up to skirmishing standards again. Then our launchers, we've got, I think this was originally a Sun Project M203. I put together this little standalone platform out of extra parts. I think it's part of a gearbox, part of a receiver, a grip, and then an old barrel just to mount it to. It works alright whenever the shells work. We use some of the Mad Bull shells, and they seem to be a little fickle as to when they want to work. And these are our new launchers. This one is just a it uses a big ball valve. All you got to do to fire it is just turn this forward. Load a football in the end. Use a car tire pump or a bike pump to get up to maybe about 100 psi, and it'll shoot the footballs really far. I really like how this one works. And this one I use a sprinkler valve and an air compressor gun. And to fire it, all you have to do is push this button. This one you can only do up to about 70 psi because of the valve that it uses, but it still shoots pretty well, and it's fun to throw it on your shoulder and fire it with the button. And that's the Armory. I think the only thing we have left is this is our wall of non-working gas blowbacks. This was a KSC Mark 23. It's really, really old. I think we've had it since about 2002, 2003. It'll work sometimes with some of the mags. We've got a Western Arms 1911. This one needs a whole lot of parts. I think I can get the side to cycle, but can't get any of the BBs to fire. And then a KSC Glock 18 that is also only, I think the slide will cycle a little bit, but it won't fire at all. And these are kind of the graveyard for our gas blowbacks. But that's our Armory.